Hi, welcome to C&M News. Now, today we have very few good stories to tell you, so we'll just turn you straight over to our weather forecast. On Sunday, it'll be sunny with a 0% chance of rain and high pressure and highs in the mid-30s. On Monday, it'll be sunny with a 0% chance of rain, high pressure, and highs still in the mid-30s. Now on Tuesday, it'll be low pressure, cloudy, windy with a 30% chance of rain and highs in the upper 40s. Now on Wednesday, it'll be the same scenario with cloudy, windy, 35% chance of rain, low pressure, and highs in the mid to upper 40s. Thursday will be partly cloudy with a 10% chance of rain with that low pressure system still hanging over the area. Now Friday, it will begin to clear up and it'll be 0% chance of rain, high pressure, and highs in the mid-30s. And last but not least, Saturday will be cloudy with a 15% chance of rain and a high pressure. Now, if you were wondering during the forecast what low and high pressure means, I'll tell you. Low pressure means that there are less air molecules in the air around you. This causes storms, wind, and rain. High pressure means that there are more air molecules around you. This brings nice sunny weather with little rain and wind. Now that we've heard part of our weather forecast, we'll turn you over to the commercial break, and then we'll resume with our weather radar. Hey, have you ever wondered how wind is formed? Well, wind is formed by uneven heating of the earth. Now, an example of this would be something called a sea breeze. A sea breeze is when the land and the ocean heat at different rates. Now, during the day, the land will heat much quicker, causing the warm land air to rise. The cool water over the ocean will rush in to fill its place. Now, in the late evening and at night, the exact opposite things happens, called a land breeze, when the warm water cools much slower than the cold land. Now, the warm air from the water will begin to move up, and the cool air from the land will rush in to fill its place. Now, this is called a land breeze. Don't you wonder how wind is formed at all? Well, it all starts with the sun, our main source of energy here on Earth. Now, the sun sends waves of heat through radiation to Earth. Now, radiation is just one way that heat can be transferred. It could also be transferred through convection, which is heat being transferred through warm air, and conduction, which is heat being transferred through touch. Like, for example, you picking up a cold piece of metal or warm rock in the sun. The windiest places in the world are along the equator. The reason they're so windy is because they have something called the trade winds. This is wind from the north and south poles rushing in to fill the warm air from the equators. Now, this causes something called ocean currents. How is it caused, you asked? Well, the wind pushes the water, sometimes pushing warm water into cool areas and cool water into warm areas. Now, these currents may not sound like a very big deal, but they do play a major role in local weather. When warm water reaches cold water, the area begins to become warmer due to the warm water heating up the cold water, indirectly heating the area above. Now, this can create more storms and more intense rain, causing a more tropical area. Whenever a cold water current reaches a warm water current, it actually does the exact opposite. The warm water tries to cool the new cold water, but this doesn't work out too well, creating a nice medium temperature. This can lessen the amount of storms in the area due to the lack of warm water. Hi, welcome back from that very long and for some reason educational commercial break. Okay, now we'll get you to the weather radar. On Sunday, the high pressure system will begin to leave the area. Now, this will be taken place by a low pressure system. Normally, pressure moves from high to low, but in this case, the high pressure system is moving away, and the low pressure system just seems to be following behind it. Now, since you're probably wondering what those two red arrows mean, that is a warm front. A warm front is basically warm air moving into a cooler area. Now, a cold front is the exact opposite of this. It's cold air moving into a warmer area. Now, this is represented on a radar by half blue circles on a blue line. On Monday, the high pressure system will continue its journey to the northeast, while the low pressure system continues to approach from the southwest. Now that the low pressure system has reached Helena, Montana, it brings with it rain, storm, and wind. The storm system is now continuing on its journey to the northeast and will soon just be a distant memory. Now, later in the week, the storms will be completely out of the area, leaving us with a slight high pressure system and some nice sunny weather. Now you may be wondering why I use a weather map rather than just telling you what the weather will be. Well, a weather map offers a nice visual and gives the audience a better understanding what the weather will be.
Hi, and welcome back to CNN Weather, and we're still tracking that hurricane on the East Coast. Now we'll tell you a little bit more on how hurricanes are formed. Hurricanes are formed by the warm atmospheric air and water, combined with the sun's energy, wind, and the will to become a hurricane.
Hurricanes is just one of the ways where ocean currents come into play. Now, as you can see on the East Coast where many hurricanes occur, there is a warm ocean current. Now, this provides the warm water required to create a hurricane.
Hey there, kids. Fun fact for you. Did you know that hurricanes formed on the west coast of America are really called cyclones? Yeah, it's kind of crazy. You'd think they just call it one thing, but they don't. Now, if you're wondering on how we track all these storms, it's actually quite simple. Besides using our Doppler radar, we also look back at other weather and weather forecasts to see the patterns they've made so we can precisely predict on where the next storm is going to come in from and where it's going to end
That
up.
concludes our CNN weather forecast for the day.
Thanks for tuning in with us and come in next time.
Yeah, and we don't really know why there were so many educational facts and stuff, but
Yeah.
that's just how it turned out to be. So thanks for watching.
It happens.
It happens.